Welcome, everybody, to Den Excelsior episode 187. I'm your host, Ricky. With me, as always, Dennis.
What's up?
We are talking about Ironheart, episodes 1 through 3. That's what's up.
Yeah, we
Episodes 1 through 3. They really want to get this.
They wanted to burn this one, right? So I'm not sure why, but we're getting half the season this week and half of it next week, and that's it. There's just 2 weeks of the show, which is fine. We got a packed summer ahead of us, right? We got Superman the following week.
I mean, they said, fuck it. We're getting out of Jurassic Park, out of Superman's way, out of Fantastic Four's way. What else comes out in January, July?
Probably other stuff that will take everybody's attention. Probably wars in Iran too. Who knows?
Oh yeah, that thing. Yeah. Can I still get drafted?
Who knows, man? Who knows? We're just putting a timestamp on this so that you know when we're.
Yeah, when the race wars kick off and World War III starts, you know where we were.
Wow. Weird side note on that. Weird side note on that. The WWE has an event in Saudi Arabia this weekend.
The Saudi Arabian. I mean, you probably know, they have their own like public fund, right? Or did you know this or not know this?
What are we talking about?
So the Saudi Arabian government, for the past a little over a decade now, has been investing heavily into tourism, entertainment, actually video games, like deep investing. So that's why a lot of these events are taking place over there right now.
No, I understand. Mm-hmm. I'm saying, should they be concerned?
Hey, we got no beef with them.
I'm not talking about beef with Saudi Arabia. I'm just talking about that's a lot of American people that supposedly will be there and American celebrities and stuff like that.
Hey, Disney's building a Disneyland in Saudi Arabia, so they're
not this weekend. They're not, is what I'm saying.
They're going to make sure that shit's safe. Too much money is in motion over there.
I'm not trying to predict anything, by the way. So don't point to me if something bad happens.
Your false flag operation.
I'm just kind of concerned. I was like, you guys are still going through with this.
I mean, if you were given free tickets, would you still go?
They're next door, man. No, I would not. I would not.
Okay.
I would not fly to the Middle East right now this week.
I'd go.
Okay, cool. I'm happy for you.
I might drive back, but I'd fly there.
Fair enough. That was just my weird side note. Strangely, because of the time zone, the pay-per-view event is actually going to be at or the premium event, whatever you want to call it. It's actually going to be at 10 a.m. on Saturday, so I'm pretty stoked for that because I can watch that and then go to my event in the afternoon.
Oh, what event?
I'm doing a signing. I thought I told you that before. Yeah. I'm doing a signing. My first artist signing.
Our audience doesn't know this.
I thought I told you on the show, but it's cool. I'm doing my first artist signing at Now or Never Comics in downtown San Diego this Saturday. I believe, is it at 2:00 or is it 1:00?
I think it's at 2.
Yeah, 2:00, 2 to 4. I think that's when it is.
Yeah.
And I'll have a lot of my product there. I'll be signing stuff if people want to pick up some art for me. It's pretty cool. I'm excited for it. I just got done packing everything right now, right before the show. Ready to go. Have fun, meet the community, get people excited for Comic-Con. That's kind of what we're doing here, is just starting to get the ball rolling a little early.
I should send you some stickers. I still have a bunch of stickers.
The Den Excelsior ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you can get them to me before before Saturday, or you could just come to the event.
I might be there.
All right, fair enough.
I'm actively making plans to be there. Just like you. It's like our audience should.
Nice.
Yeah, be there. Go to Now or Never. That's a cool comic book shop.
Yes, I will be on the first floor.
They are somehow now one of the longest tenured comic book shops in downtown San Diego.
In downtown, I'm not surprised. Yes, but no, they wanted to have me come out so that they can get some. They want to celebrate local artists, and they want to have a product there to like showcase local artists when the mass of tourists come through their shop in a few weeks from now during Comic-Con. Because for some reason, I guess like Comic-Con's not enough. You got to go to the comic store down the street too. Or it's people who don't have badges and stuff like that, just want a little taste of
We're less than a month away.
I know.
That's crazy.
We're exactly 1 month away, actually.
No, I thought it was the 23rd. Preview night.
Yeah, but it's a Wednesday, and that's today.
I mean, a month is 30.
Sorry, we're 4 weeks away.
Okay.
Exactly 4 weeks away. That's what I mean to say.
Yes. 4 weeks from now, we will be. Actually, we'll probably be done around this time, right? Like, so we would have just completed a preview night.
Preview night ends at 9:00, but sure. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. We will not be broadcasting at this time 4 weeks from today. That is a fact. But yeah, no. What have you been nerding out on, by the way?
Ooh, what have I been nerding out on? I've been watching, in very brief stints, Love Island. I know you like your trash TV.
I do. I was actually looking up trash TV to watch today.
Apparently, everyone's watching Love Island. I don't know. I walked in and Megan Thee Stallion like dancing on TV.
Nice.
So that was my Love Island intro. I saw the worst performing Pixar movie this weekend. I saw Elio.
Is it the worst? I've heard it's like the best Pixar movie in a long time, though.
Well, it's the worst performing. It's made, I think, like 50 million as of this weekend.
Yeah.
Which is even less than Elemental, which made, I think, like under 100 million.
I think it's because I'm just guessing. It's because they saturated their market a bit, didn't they? It's like they started putting stuff on Disney Plus too, and like.
I mean that
they made it just not as special an event. You know what I mean? It used to be event. They used to be event movies, like to go see a Pixar movie.
I've skipped out. I didn't watch Elemental. I didn't watch Inside Out 2.
There's your flyer, by the way.
Local artists.
Yeah, just so it's available for people to see. I haven't watched a Pixar movie in a while. I think that was the last one was those Troll Brothers that I watched.
Oh, Onward. Did you see that in theaters or on Disney Plus?
Disney Plus.
I saw that in theaters.
Okay, and you cried.
That was like the last. That's a good movie. That's fine.
That's all right.
It's good. Pratt and Tom Holland, right? Yeah.
Was it Chris Pratt and Tom Holland?
Yeah.
I don't even remember who's in that movie. It's that long.
Elio is great. It's shocker, right? Pixar makes great original movies. I don't know. I mean,
I wouldn't stand by the word original too firmly, but sure, they make great movies.
Elio premise.
I dare you to convince me that The Incredibles is an original movie.
Original stories. Elio's great. It's a little Latin boy who lives on a military base and believes in aliens. And
nice. I saw Luca. Was that before or after Onward?
After. That was their first. Well, Disney Onward went to Plus, but that was their first Disney Plus one.
I like.
Actually, Luca. No, I lied. Soul was the second one because Soul was first, right? Yeah. I have not seen Soul.
Soul bored me. Yeah.
Mm.
I will see Elio when it's on Disney Plus.
It's a fun movie. It has like a weird body horror like element to it that myself watching is like, oh, this is kind of like this might fuck some kids up. So that was neat. It's a fun story.
Okay.
Glorden. I'm a big fan of Glorden. Aside from that, what else did I do? I did nothing. I did absolutely nothing.
Good to know. Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I think my week has been pretty packed with. Oh, I went to the fair twice this weekend. That was too much fair.
Even like more than 5 hours is too much fair.
I went because the photography exhibition, they put on a lot of really cool events, and it's almost like a workshop. I mean, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
a convention for photographers, like in the area, because like they have workshops all weekend or every weekend. They have meetups. They have like competitions that you can do, like live competitions. So I went on Friday because there was a photo mixer where all the Southern California like photo clubs, well, really all the San Diego-ish areas. There's
Mm-hmm.
Fallbrook too. They all met up, and then Saturday I went to the judges critique to learn, what I could do to improve and stuff. And you get like 15 minutes with each judge that you sign up with, and you show them your art, and they give you really good feedback and stuff. And so it was cool.
What was your feedback?
Most of it, honestly, is that I screwed up on my submission process uh, because everybody said I got robbed. Everybody said I got robbed, and they didn't know what I knew, which is that I had already been told that my submissions violated the rules this year. I put my Instagram in all of the descriptions, and
Mm.
apparently this year I was not supposed to put any identifying information in the descriptions. That
Tried
doesn't
greasing those wheels, huh?
I put my Instagram in it every year. So like I just didn't
Mm-hmm.
know that was a thing that they were checking for this year. And so my question to them was, well, then how did I still get 2 in the fair? They're like, I guess those judges didn't notice it or something like that. So whatever.
You got to put it like in graffiti next time, like in the background.
In the picture itself, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Will do. But yeah, no, it was something. Just I guess the real reason I do it is just because like it's a very heavily attended event, and it's unfortunate to me, like if you like, this is not something you're necessarily going to be aware of, but like there are so many opportunities for artists to submit their work, and yet there's so little opportunities for the artists to actually tell people who they are when those come around. So especially in museum spaces and stuff, like galleries
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. Galleries, I get it, because there's a curator and they want to be like the person who's the go between, from the customer and the artist. They want to get the commission and stuff like that. So that makes sense. So you can't put contact information on your art when you go to a museum or a gallery or something like that. I get it. But like the fair ain't taking a cut. They're not taking a cut. So like it's just unfortunate that like just your name gets put next to the stuff, and then they gotta go find you if they want to. But it's like my name's pretty common, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, you got bad SEO on your name.
I do. I got bad SEO. So that's what I'm saying. Like I try to do what I can to help, to help that out. So
I think the cream rises to the top. Having dabbled in specifically in the San Diego photographer circuit realm for a little bit, and know people who still do it. The best, in my opinion, don't like even bother with some of that stuff. Like a lot of like the city readers, the events, or the as voted on by the city type of stuff. Like it's there's a lot of as I imagine the fair can be, like a lot of politics in terms of like some of that and how it gets judged and how it wins. And
For sure. There's politics and stuff, but like at the same time, it's also the largest juried print exhibition in North America. So it's pretty prestigious when you get stuff, when you get awards from it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I do it. But it's just frustrating. Like I know I just have to choose, right? Pick my battles. Do I want people to find me through that experience, or do I want to get the awards because that's the because then I can put the awards on my website or whatever and stuff. So yeah, these are just my nerdy, weird, toy photo adventures that I go through. So, but it was validating. I'm not complaining. It was incredibly validating to have that many people I don't know tell me that I got robbed because they couldn't figure out why. Because they didn't necessarily, not all of the judges judge my stuff, right? It's different judges for each category. So, but when I got to the ones that were for my category, they were like, it honestly broke our hearts to have to reject all your stuff because it was so good, but you violated the rules. And I'm like, well, damn. There you go.
always next year, kiddo.
I know.
You could do like the LA Fair. You don't, right?
I could.
Orange County Fair. That's a little closer.
Yeah.
You could take the train for that one.
I probably missed the submission deadlines for that already, though. Because that fair is going to start right after the San Diego one, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got.
Well, let's pivot. Let's pivot into some news. Oh man, this news dropped like right after we did the last show. John Bernthal is in Spider-Man 4.
Oh yeah. I was pretty stoked when you shared that last week.
They're doing the thing.
I'm pretty excited
thing, right?
Yeah, the Punisher and Spider-Man. That's a thing. Tell me Daredevil's in it too, and we're good to go. We're just good to go. Like but it doesn't need to have Daredevil. I'm just saying, like, I want more street level Spider-Man, and so this is like, it sounds like this is what we're getting.
I mean, I just need the Punisher sniping Spider-Man. Doesn't have to hit him.
It might happen. Who knows? It might. Maybe Mephisto convinces the world that Spider-Man's a bad guy.
Hey! You're the horse is leading the cart with that conversation.
Yes, that is how it works. A horse leads the cart. Did you mean to say the cart is leading the horse?
The cart is in front of the other thing that is maybe left the horse behind.
All right, fine. I got ahead of myself.
Speaking of being left behind, but not out. That was a bad segue. While doing press for the Ironheart show, executive producer Ryan Coogler fielded a question. The question was, "Are you directing X-Men?" And Ryan Coogler's response was, "Nah, Jake is directing that." As in, what's his name? Jake Schreier, the director of Thunderbolts.
Jake or Jack?
Jack. No, Jake. J-A-K-E. Right? Yeah. Jake Schreier.
Oh, Jake Schreier from Thunderbolts. Sorry, not
Thunderbolts.
Jack. I was thinking of Jack Schaefer from WandaVision. Okay.
He seems to have gotten the X-Men job, according to Ryan Coogler. Which is cool if that's true. To be fair, we don't even know. The context is we don't know if this is even an X-Men movie. The movie starring mutants. I think that's a better way to frame it.
Right.
Whether that is an X-Men movie or not, that's to be determined. But the first mutant movie seems to be going to Jake. I think I'm fine with it. Right? The core puzzle of the Thunderbolts is a group of misfits learning to work together.
Yeah, but I don't think that movie's great though.
I think the interplay between them, basically the non-action moments of that movie, I think are really good.
Cool.
And I can see that. I see the through line between that tone and that writing to a group of themes.
Yeah, I think the problem I have is that the X-Men carry a lot more weight. You know what I mean? Like the subject matter is heavy. It's very heavy, and I want a very well-known, established, mature director to be in charge of that. And so I don't know that we're necessarily getting that with Jake Schreier, whatever his name is, Schreier. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Like I will wait. I'll reserve judgment until I see. I'm just saying. I don't think Thunderbolts was breaking any molds for sure. So I really feel like when X-Men movie happens, it's a moment. It's going to be a moment in if it's done right. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be a moment in
so
movie history.
You would be more okay if this wasn't an X-Men movie.
I like that's like asking me like back in the day, like should they have released a Mutants movie or Mutants comic book in 1962 before the X-Men came out? I'm like, that's dumb. Don't do that. You like if the Avengers got their movie, the Fantastic Four gets their movie, give the X-Men their movie. Let's not dance around it.
The build up though.
If you want a build up, do a show on Disney Plus called The Mutants. Do not do
they're not. They're not doing that.
Then don't do it. Do an X-Men movie. You don't need a build up. The X-Men didn't need a build up. They just got a movie. They just got a comic. They just did.
The fervor.
I'm just saying. You're asking my opinion. I'm going to give it to you. Like the X-Men didn't get a year worth of comic books to build up to the mutant problem in the world.
I mean, they had 2 decades worth of movies to get people warmed up to the idea.
Exactly. So you don't need just to do a movie.
So you want hot off the press, ready to go X-Men?
Yeah.
Hot to go.
We're getting a hot to go Fantastic Four this week, right? Or not this week, this month. Next month.
Yeah, whatever. But they're in their own universe. They got a caveat. Speaking of which, you just watched that new trailer for the Fantastic Four, the final trailer.
It's pretty good. It the thing with the beard weirded me out a little bit much. I was trying to understand, is his mouth open? And then I realized I'm like, oh, that's a beard.
That's a beard. It's a choice.
Yeah.
I like the approach they're going with the thing. I feel like he's going to steal the show. I like the bit at the beginning about it's clobbering time. I want him saying it to hit the same as Cap saying Avengers Assemble. And I'm gonna be pissed if he doesn't say it in this movie. I don't need you to tease him saying it till Doomsday. Say the damn line.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I think that's a safe. I'm gonna be pissed. I think it's fine.
It's clobbering time.
Yeah. There's a shorter TV spot that I actually caught earlier today before that one. And it's got this funny moment where like they're like I think they're driving like the Fantastic Car or something, and they're like backseat driving Johnny, and he's like, "Don't tell me how to fight hot alien chicks" or something like that. It's pretty funny. But that was not in the trailer. That was yeah. It was a funny line. But
do we get Freaky Johnny in the MCU?
or I think he said sexy aliens or something like that. Yeah. He gonna be freaky because he's always freaky. He definitely finds the Silver Surfer sexy. All right, that's just out. That's there. That's already there. There is a commercial in which he says that.
Let's see what else we got. Let's wrap up the movie stuff.
No more Comic-Con exclusives.
We have those. There
okay.
is
you're still doing movies. You did movies.
Last bit of movies. Mahershala says, "Let's start doing Blade." Basically.
How old is Mahershala Ali now?
He's like over 50. I mean, to be fair, Petra's over 50.
Yeah.
There was actually on that same Blade note. What is it? Is it David Goyer, the writer of the first Blade?
You read all three, or just all three Blades. And all three Batman Begins or Batman Dark Knight trilogy.
He was doing an interview not too long ago where he said he kind of like it was for Sandman season 2 because he's part of that in somehow.
Okay.
But he had mentioned that enough people asked him to fix Blade that he reached out to Marvel about it, and they're like, "We're good." And this was like, I guess after it got like pushed back again. So since that, it got pushed back again. But apparently he's even like down to go in and fix it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the world, especially after last year, we know the world wants more Blade. We know that, like that's like, I hope we can tolerate a Blade that's not Wesley Snipes. But I really think this world needs that. We need a guy that's just badass killing like vampires all day long. You know what I mean? We don't even have Buffy on TV. We don't. There's not a lot of.
Back.
I know she's coming back, but I'm saying like there's a drought. There's been a drought of good vampire murder in movies and pop culture icons in a while now. You know what I mean? So like the Supernatural's been off the air for a few years. Like I get it. Like we have a hunger for it. So let's get it done. Let's get Blade in there. I want it. I want some Ghost Rider too. I want more supernatural stuff. I know again, cart before the horse. That's kind of why I loved Ironheart so much, man. We're finally going there. Like it's good. It's good. So but let's go with the exclusives before we jump into Ironheart.
There is a Little People's Deadpool set from Mattel. There's also
I think that means something different than what I thought it meant when you first said it.
The toy called Little People.
Gotcha.
Fisher Price's Little People.
Got it. All right, that helps a lot. Got it. Reframing.
What were you thinking?
Not worth it. Just not worth it. Don't keep.
I think the cooler thing from Mattel is that Jurassic Park Hammond collection. Did you see that?
See what? No? Tell me what.
The Hammond collection, for those who don't know, is like
I know what the Hammond collection is.
The Jurassic Park 6-inch line of, you call them premium figures, right? Premium Jurassic Park figures.
They're big ass dinosaurs.
They are doing a San Diego Comic-Con themed T-Rex with a convention goer figure as well.
Okay.
So the T-Rex is attaching someone cosplay, or the T-Rex is attacking someone dressing cosplay as a dinosaur while they're breaking into the San Diego Convention Center, which is kind of fun. I forget that the Lost World takes place in San Diego.
Yes. Yeah, it does, unfortunately. Have they? Where's the announce on this? I'm trying to find it.
You can look at SDCC blog,
Okay,
unofficial blog.
gotcha. I will find it and I will geek out over it. I like the Hammond collection because they're like the big ones, right? Like the really big ones.
Yeah, here I'll drop a link for you. But you know, every movie, even the bad ones, get love at Comic-Con.
Even the bad ones.
Even the bad ones. They're also doing a last hurrah John Cena. So if that's your thing, pick up your. Are you gonna start collecting wrestling figures now? That's like a.
No,
That's.
I'm not. I'm not.
It's a slippery slope.
That's why I'm not doing it.
They got pretty good head sculpts.
They are okay.
This
They're
John
okay.
Cena Ultimate Edition looks pretty good.
Yeah, he looks about 20 years younger than he really is.
And he comes with all the belts.
All the belts. That's pretty funny. He looks so much younger than John Cena actually is. That's funny.
Removable hat.
Is it supposed to just be like an iconic John Cena?
Yeah, I mean they have their Ultimate line, which is like the ones with all the accessories. So
how big is this dinosaur though? That's what I'm trying to. How big is this T-Rex?
He looks pretty big. Are you on it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I just need a size, man. Tell me how big it is.
I mean T-Rex size, right? Like I don't.
These are 6-inch characters.
I believe the people are 6-inch. So that would make the T-Rex look about a foot tall.
All right, fine. It might be too small for me,
but
it's
that
cool.
box is cool. That's a cool box. I missed the days, very like 2010 era, where the Comic-Con packaging was usually a little bit more bespoke.
It's very It's see, the problem I have with the packaging is that is not the shape of the TV. That
well, you look at the front.
I'm looking at the front
with the window.
Oh, you mean is that the front or is that the back?
The TV's a slip.
The TV is a slip, is what I'm saying. Yes,
yeah.
The TV is a slip. I see what I understand what you mean by the actual box itself. But the slip is like they stretched a 4x3 TV to be super long, and it's like that's not what the TV looks like back then. It's fine. I'm just being nitpicky. I wish that the dinosaur was way bigger because I want like I thought the Hammond collection was something else. I think because I have some
well, the bigger ones aren't to scale.
The really, really big ones are huge, though. Like, they're huge. Anyways, let's move on. It's fine.
Let's move on. Enough Comic-Con talk for now. Let's talk about Ironheart.
Just to be clear, the only reason I'm nitpicking the size of it is because I want to do photos with giant dinosaurs, my toys. If that's never clear, that's always where my brain is going. I want dinosaurs. I want them bad.
They are 3.75-inch scale. That's why.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, there's a colossal version of there's a bigger version of dinosaurs that they make that are huge, but they're like $80 or $90. So
I think that was those are the Amber collection from what it looks like. I don't know.
They're super articulated inside.
Watch the movie.
Anyways, let's talk about Ironheart.
Ironheart. First 3 episodes.
How long did it take you to watch 3 episodes?
Like 3
hours. Binge them all?
Yeah, it was all back to back to back.
It was less than 3 hours for sure, but yeah, they were it was fast. It was like I was noting today that I was like, wow, that was way easier to binge than like Andor. Andor is quite heavy and like it's a little too topical right now.
There's a good ebb and flow with the uppers and downers in this show.
There's light parts, there's heavy parts. Yeah,
Mhm.
but it's got a good rhythm to it.
But Ironheart basically picks up with Riri Williams back at MIT, set
Presumably
to
after a few years of since Wakanda Forever.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I think they imply the summer after in Wakanda Forever. She basically
Is it? I kind of felt like she's like at least 18 or 19 now. And she was 15 back then.
she's 15 in Wakanda Forever? No way.
Yeah, I think she's supposed to be like 15 in that one. Or is she
Really?
not? 15 or 16, something like that.
Nah.
Yeah, I think so.
A young Riri Williams is kicked out of MIT for being too darn smart. And especially after the experience she had over the summer, she feels that she is not getting much outside of their money in terms of that return. So she decides to take her suit and fly back home to Chicago.
Oh, she's 19 in Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
So she's like 20 something now.
Yeah, that's the summer later you can turn 20. You can turn
no,
1 year older.
I'm saying if it takes place a summer later, but
I can pull up a timeline now if you want me to pull up a timeline.
I don't know when the timeline is. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't communicate to me when the timeline was.
Your brain. It takes place after Wakanda Forever. That's all you need to know.
I know it takes place after, but I want to know how much time.
Oh my god. We're gonna stop the show till
Don't we want to know? Doesn't that matter?
I don't know what relevant information you gain.
Because I want to know how much time she's been doing all these shenanigans. Like, has it just been? It's gonna make a difference. Like, it's gonna make a difference to me. Like, so the whole point of this show is and I'll just be blunt. Like, it's a lot harder for a person of color to succeed in this world than it is for someone who is white, and because of that, because of the way our society is structured, Riri is forced to do things that are illegal to get money, right? To get the funding she needs to be the next Tony Stark, basically.
Ironheart takes place 5 months after Wakanda Forever.
Wow, that's wild. She don't look 5 months after Wakanda Forever.
That's rude. They filmed this movie like right after that, or filmed the show right after it. They've been sitting on this show for quite some time.
Well, that's gross. And sure, I'm rude. Whatever.
Well, now that you settled that internal score with yourself, yeah, we see Riri Williams go back home, and she needs to earn some money, and through her heroic escapades, she runs across the Hood and his gang.
Yeah, I think it's because they say that she started going to MIT when she was 15.
Started going to college when she's 15.
College. So, well, isn't MIT not a college?
I would assume that Riri went to school for more than 4 years in terms of like a traditional education.
Yeah, if you add 4, 19 is 15 plus 4 is 19. So she's still in school.
Well, they mentioned at her hearing that
she is still not matriculated.
Yeah. So there you go. Checks out.
It checks out. I just didn't realize that she's technically in like what would be considered her senior year of that experience. Okay, but we can we can be done with the age
Oh,
debate.
you can be done with it. I've been done with the age.
You're not done with it. It's okay. Um, the theme is pretty much just like, what if Iron Man didn't have all the privilege he had, right? Like that's essentially what this story is. And I'm here for it, honestly. Like I think it's cool. Like I think it's important that we acknowledge that, like, you know, the experience that Tony Stark had is not the same experience that like someone who looks like Riri Williams would have. Uh, you know, there wouldn't be as many doors opened for her. And so because of that, she felt that the only way to continue funding her projects was to do shady stuff, right? Like maybe hand over completed assignments to people at other schools in exchange for money, you know, and then that eventually gets her expelled, right? Because she gets caught. So she's coming back home to Chicago, and on the way home, literally flying her Ironheart suit that she made, you know, it's hers. Uh, you you run into some bad guys. You run into like a gang of thieves that are in need of a new tech expert, because Eric Andre, who that was quite surprising to see Eric Andre in the show.
Got a good agent.
He's got a good agent, man. But yeah,
That man
he
doesn't age. He's been like the same face for like the past decade.
or they filmed it
Or
4
they filmed
years
it
ago.
4 years ago.
Yeah, like you said it. You're the one who said it. It's not
That's
me who
fair.
said it. Yeah. But yeah, so he botches a job where we get to meet all these interesting group of characters like the blood siblings and Slug and Clown and cousin John, and we meet
Very
the Hood.
diverse group of criminals.
We meet the Hood. If by diverse you mean non-white, yes.
Non-white, non-male.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly Latino. Right? Mostly, I think. I think Slug is the only non-Latino.
Yeah.
Sorry, no. Sorry,
Clown.
Rampage.
Or
Rampage is
Rampage.
also.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, Clown. Clown is too, right? So yeah. But yeah, so it's I guess I don't see it as like particularly diverse. What I see it as is the proper representation for a Ryan Coogler produced project, which is showing us the other part of America that we don't get in most of our media. You know what I mean? So all the brown, and that's cool. Like I really appreciate it, and I like seeing this group of characters that are all bonded by their own uh misfitness, right? Like they're all a band of misfits, and we get a story later on where uh Parker explains to us how they brought them all together, and they were all just considered outsiders in their communities or whatever, and so
Mm-hmm.
he gave them a community. He gave them a place to feel like it was their home, but in exchange they got to go rob places together. And so yeah, he really needs a new tech person on the team, and he just so happens to see an Ironheart fly across Chicago, and so they find her. They do some investigating. They find her, and they make an offer she can't refuse, basically. And so the rest of the show is Riri, this character that was pretty much just painted as uh, uh like a good, decent human being in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Now we're getting texture to this character, right? Because now we're seeing that like there can be more than just that. I honestly, that's what bored me about her in Wakanda Forever, is there wasn't much to her. She's just smart, and she built an Iron Man suit, right? And that's cool. Like, but I needed more. I needed to understand. I didn't understand who she was as a person. And now I'm getting more of who she is as a person, but they're kind of like feeding it to you, you know, like as you go, and you learn that she's got trauma. She's dealing with trauma, right?
Mm-hmm.
She lost her best friend in a drive-by.
Best friend and stepdad.
Father? Yeah,
Yeah.
stepfather. Yeah. She obviously cares way more about one than the other. Just, uh, yeah, no shade on that one, but like it's a little weird. It's a little biased. I feel bad when she goes to sleep with some brain scanning nodes on her head, and she wakes up and her best friend is now her new AI. And then later the mom's like, "Can you do that with your stepdad?" He's like, "Nah." And I'm like, "That's messed up, dude. That's
San
pretty sad."
Junipero.
I know, right? Yeah, there's a lot of Black Mirror in this show in cool ways where it's like what is it like to take somebody and recreate them as an AI? And is that a good method for healing, or is it more destructive? Like there's a lot of ethical questions that get brought up through the whole damn show. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what makes it more fun for me than when like for me, she was the worst part of Wakanda Forever.
Wow.
She was. I mean, is there something worse in Wakanda Forever that you can think of?
I mean, I would say Everett Ross. But
He's like barely in that movie. I don't even remember him in that movie.
he's in it.
Well, but he was. What does he do in that movie?
He
Is that where Valentina is? You
you
find
find
out
out they were married, yeah.
you find out they were married, right?
Hmm?
Nah, I like that better than Riri.
Oh my god.
I'm super bored by Riri in that movie. Like I think it just I understand that we needed to, you know, introduce her like so that she can be legacied into other stuff. Like I get it. It's become the way of Marvel is like introduce them here and then we can
I mean,
develop them later.
she's the MacGuffin.
She is the MacGuffin, yes, and so I don't like when characters are MacGuffins in stories. It takes all of their agency away. It takes all of their character away. Now they're just a thing to obtain by the good guy and the bad guy. You know what I mean? And so I appreciate this show so much more because she's not the MacGuffin anymore. She's the actual star, and she's a really good actress, man. Like Dominique Thorne is a great actress, and I'm really happy about her in this show. But I will stop talking for a moment to let you talk about what you thought about the show.
I think the show's great. We talked about, I can't remember what show specifically we talked about, but I'm a big fan of the now kind of built-in legacy that we're getting
Mhm.
in the MC, right? It's shit, we're coming on 20 years, right? um a lot's happened and a lot's
17 years so
I
far.
mean,
Yeah.
we're coming on 20 years.
Yeah.
A lot's happened. And it's nice. I know people have debates on whether the MCU should reset or have go down a different path post Secret Wars, but I do like this timeline for what it is. The fact that we're now seeing some of the longer trickle down effects of choices made literally
Yeah.
15 years ago. And to your point, it starts with Riri, right? She is a genius. Um, I they do a good job of showing it in this show how resourceful she is and how actually smart she is.
Mhm.
Um, and she even mentioned that she's really just hindered by her access to resources, right? So you put Riri in Wakanda, she can build whatever. You saw what she built. She built that crazy ass suit.
Yeah. Because she
But
had a
when
whole ton of vibranium to work with, right? Yeah.
she doesn't have that, she can still build a cool ass suit. Is it a little jank? Sure, but I think it's more of a testament to Riri and what she can. And even to that point, like she's like acknowledges the fact that she's not getting nothing or she's not getting anything out of MIT in terms of education at this point. It's strictly
Right.
just like a transactional. They have
Right.
the resources she needs to do to build the suit. So I think that's cool. But to furthermore, I mean, spoilers for the third episode, right? but we get our second episode, third episode. When does the Ezekiel come in?
I
When do
think
we
we find.
we
I
find out
think
in the third?
we meet him in the first episode, but I think we find out in the third episode that he is like Joe McGillicuddy, which they keep telling him that's not a real name. She meets him like she needs somebody who has resources, right? And so she finds him through known associates of Rampage, right? Like it's kind of a there's a short list of people that could do the kind of things that she needs to do to rebuild her suit for these jobs that she's taking with the Hood. And Joe is played by Alden Ehrenreich, aka
Han
Solo. Yeah, Han Solo.
He's actually pretty good in have you watched Hail Caesar?
Hail Caesar?
The Coen Brothers movie?
I've seen that movie. I don't remember him in that.
He's in it for like he has a really good scene in that movie.
He's really good in Cocaine Bear. And he looks a lot like he does in this movie, like he did in Cocaine
He is
Bear.
not the problem in Solo. I will say that.
Fair. But he comes back he's in this show, and it's revealed in the third episode that he is actually Ezekiel Stain, the son of Obadiah Stain. And he is his whole story, his whole like motivation is to not end up like his dad. And I can relate to that. That's a really cool. That's a cool
very
thing.
We all try to do that.
I think we all try to do that on some level, but he's really scared because he has access to so many of the things that could easily make him turn into his dad, right? He has tons of technology. And then when Riri finally convinced him to stand up for himself and start trying out all these things that he's got all these black market technology things just sitting, collecting dust in a warehouse. And he starts playing with them and doing weird stuff with them. And I'm like, I don't like where this is going, but I'm also very interested in it. Yeah.
They also allude to that to add another layer to Tony's story that they kind of covered up his death with a plane crash.
Yeah, I like that. I thought that was really cool because I mean that just tracks, right? Like,
I mean, at the end of Iron Man 1, Tony is very much still a dick. 100%.
Yeah, but also like I don't think we need the public to from their point of view running Stark Industries, they don't need the public to know that their CEO turned into a supervillain and started trying to murder Iron Man. Like I get it. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but like I think they were trying to be respectful of the family too, you know what I mean? And so yeah, obviously they let the son know. It weird that we never knew that he had a son before that, like a little bit, but whatever.
I mean, but he would have been like a child, dude. Like, when would they have? He's 37. Well, he would have been a teenager. Well, yeah. The MCU timeline's a little funky.
It's fine. It's okay. Yeah. I thought we already agreed we're not doing this time thing anymore. But yeah, he's an interesting character. He's fun, and he's definitely like Riri's little ace in the hole right now, right? Because she's digging herself into some real dangerous stuff right now. Right?
Not anymore. She's totally burned this dude at the end of the third episode.
Burned Ezekiel or the Hood?
Both.
Wait, how did she burn Ezekiel?
She left his tech.
Oh, she dropped the tech, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yes. I forgot about that. You're right. Yeah. Well, I mean, but one's on purpose and one's not, like.
Wow. Which one do you think is going to come bite her in the ass?
All.
Well, let's pivot to the
antagonist,
the confirmed antagonist at this point.
Right. We know there's at least one confirmed antagonist in this story, and it's Parker Robbins, played by Anthony Ramos, and they call him Hood a lot. And he's awesome, man. He's so good in the show. And he's very charming. He keeps a lot close to the chest. He's got his own secrets, and you get really early on that like the person he trusts most in life is his cousin John.
Mhm.
And this guy is not somebody you want to mess with, and if you mess with him, cousin John comes after you too, you know what I mean? And like what you learn really quickly is that this guy has supernatural powers that can't really be explained. And so far, Riri believes that's just bullshit, and that's just science that nobody's bothered to figure out yet, right? Which that's the running thread of magic in the Marvel universe,
Yeah.
is just like magic is just science that we don't understand yet. So she truly believes that this clearly demonic cloak that he's rocking, if she can just cut off a piece of it and go analyze it, that she can figure out how to stop him. And I look forward to seeing how that plays out. But meanwhile, like back at his home, when he finds out his cousin John is dead because of the actions of Riri on well, no, that wasn't an accident. No, she did leave that. She
She
left that
pulled
man.
it's a Dark Knight.
She left that man to die.
Batman. I don't have to say the
She
situation.
she left that man to die. At the moment the suit came and put itself on her, she was no longer in any danger from that man. Right? Like,
Yeah.
what's he gonna do to her inside
Well,
that suit?
he was suffocating too.
Right, but I'm saying she closed the door behind her, like, is what I'm saying. She could have just picked him up and taken him, but like, she made some choices, and now a person is dead because of her, and she's probably going to lie about it. But unfortunately, this demonic cloak started showing Parker visions of what actually happened, right? Like, because it's a demon cloak and it can do that, and they don't need to explain it. I think it's funny because this show, one of the reasons I'm enjoying it as much as I enjoyed Agatha all along is because my knowledge of the comic book source material is very minor.
Mm-hmm.
The difference being in this case, I know more about the Hood than I do about anything in Agatha all along. You know what I mean?
Well, the Hood's a more an older character than Riri.
He's not that old. He's from like the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
As is most of the stuff that they use nowadays on the he was from the New Avengers comics, if I remember correctly. But yeah, he's like a New Avengers villain and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a dude, and he's got a cloak, and that cloak is possessed by a demon, and that demon is slowly going to consume his soul. I think that was communicated quite effectively throughout the course of these 3 episodes, right? Like, I think there wasn't really any room for debate on that, right? Like, we know what demons do, right? That's the whole point of demons. So he's growing what they called scales all over his body. It looks like veins or tendrils extending all over his skin, and his cousin John has been tattooing them up through the course. The coolest thing for me about the visualization is if you look at him in the first episode versus the third episode, cousin John has been busy.
He gets more and more tats, yeah.
Way more tats each episode. So they're suggesting that there's been a progression of time occurring in between each episode. Like, they've been doing these jobs and stuff like that, so but yeah, it's pretty cool. Did you know the blood siblings are based on the blood brothers from the comics? They are
No,
a pair.
what's the deal?
They're a pair of enforcers. They're alien enforcers that work for Thanos, and they are like Iron Man villains and Avengers villains and stuff. And
they don't look like that.
they don't look like that at all. So I thought it was interesting that the show credited Jim Starlin in the credits as the creator of them. So that's why I thought it was funny. They look nothing like them, right? Like nothing. Well, actually, I will say this. one of the blood brothers has a white streak in his beard, and one of the the blood siblings has a white streak in her hair, right? So I guess that's the homage they're trying to go with, but like it's pretty loose. It's pretty loose.
That's a stretch.
I see it. I see it when I look at their beards. I see the beards. One of them has a beard with black and white. The other has just a black beard. But
watch them be aliens this whole time. That'd be actually
that would be hilarious if they were aliens. But yeah, it's like so. There's a lot of characters in here that are like they're trying like the Ezekiel Stain, the Blood Siblings, the Hood, and then I've heard many a rumor that there is a Sacha Baron Cohen credited in this show.
I mean, should we just address that right now?
That's what I'm saying. Do we talk about what this Hood character is leading to?
So Mephisto, I think, is kind of like but I think more importantly, your white whale at the MCU. You have gone on video to make a Mephisto themed maybe what would you call it? Prediction video,
theory crafting, whatever you want.
For back since WandaVision.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was on the road for a Valentine's Day getaway when you called me for an emergency recording for this Mephisto theory.
Yeah.
Mephisto did not show up on WandaVision.
Or did he?
The closest thing to a Mephisto we've gotten so far is you did get a mention in Agatha.
Several mentions in Agatha. Yes.
But we have yet to see the man himself. Is it time?
And this is not to diminish anything that we saw in Agatha all along.
Mm-hmm.
But I was talking to my wife about this show, and I was like, is this the first time we're really getting a demon in the MCU? Like, because what Mephisto or no Mephisto, that cloak is it's a demon. That's a demonic.
Yeah,
entity,
I mean,
right?
To be fair, all the stuff in Agatha was just a big illusion.
Right. Right. Exactly. Right. It was all in their heads and stuff like that. So is this the most supernatural freaky stuff we've had so far? Like technically?
I mean, what would you call the cape Dr. Doom had? The cape of the damned or whatever?
You mean Doctor Strange?
Doctor Strange. Those are demons, right? No?
I don't know.
Demon-esque.
I don't know. Well, here's my other way of putting it. Did you get just the tiniest bit of chills whenever that music would get all like creepy when they're showing you the cloak, and then weird stuff would start happening? Did it make you feel like excited for something?
The end of the third episode when he starts hallucinating,
right?
I definitely turned up the TV. I sat up straight and I was like,
and you waited for
something. Oh my God,
right?
They're going to do the thing. They're going to do the thing. Oh my God. And that seems kind of scary, by the way.
That's what I'm saying. That was cool, right?
Like, it was cool, but they didn't do it.
Right, but it was good though. It was still good. Because they made you think they were going to do it, right?
They know, right? They know.
They know what they did. And I think that was a really well executed build up. And ultimately, like, as you see a shadow rise over cousin John, like as he was dying, you're wondering what that shadow is. And then finally the shadow takes form, and it's Ironheart. And so the cloak is telling John that Ironheart is responsible for, telling Parker that Ironheart is responsible for John's death. And so we already kind of know how the next three are going to play out, but it's still going to be fun, right? I'm excited for the next 3 episodes because I want to know more about the cloak I want to know how Riri gets herself out of a jam fighting a demonic cloak. And I think honestly, like the thing that's got me the most geeked out about it, like in total, is this is finally the promise that we never got with Iron Man, which is let technology fight magic and see who comes out on top. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I think Ironheart is, if nothing else, it's righting a lot of the wrongs that the MCU did with the way they handled Iron Man. So that's why I'm excited. I think this is really cool. And they've been doing that a lot. Like they've been giving us a lot of Iron Man-esque stuff in this show, but I don't mind it's Riri. I think it's cool. It's fun. I also think it's fun that they do rewrites to, like, the one of the few things I do know about Ironheart is that in the comics, she creates an AI that is
Tony Stark.
it's a Tony Stark AI. And so, in context, this is way more meaningful than her creating some random white guy that, like, is super smart. And
Yeah, I'll say one of my just side grievances, side notes with this show is as Riri gets more and more involved with the Hood and the criminal activity. Man, the Wakandans kind of suck, dude. They kind of suck. You couldn't hook her up with like a stipend, a grant.
yeah,
Like she helped save your country.
when the show started, I was very much like, where are the Dora Milaje? Why is nobody helping her? Blah blah blah. But as it kept going, I was like, sometimes people got to learn some lessons on their own.
She doesn't get like a savings bond. Like,
I
I mean, shit. They gave Sam a suit.
I wouldn't rule out that
They gave Sam 2 suits, 3
Yeah,
suits actually.
yeah,
It's on his
but-
3rd suit.
but Sam never turned to a life of crime. Okay, I'm saying I think the Wakandans are always watching their people, and I think that they're letting her go through a life lesson. And I will be happy if we see something about that show up at the end of this show, like an epilogue where Shuri or or one of the Dora Milaje shows up. Because I think the Dora Milaje was a very important part of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Mhm.
And I think they had every reason to be an important part of that story. I think for Riri's, they don't have to be an important part of her story right now.
No, they don't. Shuri is a very important part of her story. The Queen of Wakanda is a very important part of the story.
But she's also got a lot going on. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot to do. So
I'm just saying, sliders.
I'm not completely mad at what you're saying. I do understand like where you are, but I do think if they are watching her, they understand that she needs to right this wrong herself, right? Like, this is not
Sure.
She doesn't, bailing her out of this would be the exact same thing. You saw how privileged, how entitled she was when she got kicked out of MIT, right? When they told her like all the things she did wrong, she's like, "You're right. I accept full responsibility, and I'll go back to my dorm and start, I'll get back to my studies as normal." She didn't even assume that like the plagiarism and all these things that she did were grounds for expulsion, because she assumed she was too valuable to MIT to not get kicked out. You know what I mean?
I appreciate the story choice to make the person Jim Rash in the show for like 2 scenes.
Yeah.
Which is great. Nice little callback. But I like the person. I like the choice they made of the person expelling her. Being a person of color, and also just calling her out on bullshit of like, I actually did the work to get you here, and you're like wasting it. Like, don't pull that card with me.
Yeah,
like,
she called her out on it, right? She called her out on it. That's my thing that I love about Coogler is like Coogler uses white people in the same way that most white films use people of color. They usually use them as like the little bit of comedic or flavor, you know what I mean, to add them to, like, let's sprinkle one in here and have them say some funny stuff and stuff. And that's what I really love, is that like everybody who comes to work for a Coogler project, they're down to clown, right? Like they're down to be the character that's not the most important character in the story. And Jim Rash
I mean, even more so now. Like,
he does an excellent job in those first few scenes of that show. And I said, I could tell when his time in that show was over, and I just saluted and I said, thank you for being an ally. We will now be resuming this story with no more white people. You know what I mean? And I'm fine with it. We got Alden. You know, he's more like the Haley Steinfeld of this story, right? Like we're gonna have one that's gonna have a little bit more meat in the story and stuff like that. So,
but I mean, I think it's safe to say we're both fairly positive on Ironheart.
This is one of the best things I've seen on Disney Plus for the MCU and since Agatha. You know what I mean?
Wow,
like
you're. Well, okay, hold up. One of the best things I've seen on the MCU since Agatha.
Well, okay, I would say, you know what? Not even on Disney Plus. Not even just on Disney Plus.
Okay.
Is that more fair?
I took that to mean specifically Marvel projects, but if you're talking like Andor and
no, I said MCU.
Okay. Yeah, what do you got? Spider-Man and What If?
And Falcon, or sorry, Captain America 4 and Thunderbolts.
Oh,
I enjoyed this more than
those weren't
those
necessarily
movies.
Disney Plus things, but
that's why I took away the Disney Plus. That's what I said. I think
this is the best. Upswing. We're on upswing. Thunderbolts was we're on upswing.
Yeah, I'm very happy with this, leading us into the summer of really fun stuff. Like I when I started this yesterday, I was sad already going in because I was like, they're dropping 3 episodes this week and 3 episodes next week. They're clearly trying to burn it off. It's not good. And then I watched it and I was like, well, hold on. This is actually really good. Like this is well acted across the board. Every single person is performing at even Eric Andre is selling this. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and Eric Andre, we know we're not done with Eric Andre in the show, even if he's done. You know, like he still has story that we're uncovering as the story goes on and stuff. You know, so yeah, it's cool. Like every single person in the show matters, and they make the show a better story, and they make me want to know more about the world that they live in. And so, I mean, let's go. Let's keep going.
Sidebar: the show's set in Chicago. They very clearly filmed the show in Chicago. It's another cool place in the MCU that we have yet to see. You know,
I know, right? Yeah, like there's been like no Chicago in this whole MCU. And it's been in like
Chicago's superhero. Typically, who do they got? The Midwest Avengers, right? That's the thing.
Kielbasa Man. I don't know. Yeah, the Midwest Avengers are kind of is it the Midwest Avengers?
Is that like Squirrel Girl and Team Company?
It's not called the Midwest Avengers. It's something else. Like what the hell are they called? But yes, Flat Man and Squirrel Girl.
Great Lakes Avengers.
Thank you. Great Lakes Avengers. Yeah. Technically that would work in that area. Chicago's on the Great Lakes, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of a specific one. And we're welcome in the comments to correct me, because I know there's probably like 50 of them. But yeah, the MCU has not touched a single one of them yet. So this is cool. It's cool. I'm actually really excited to watch the next 3, and we will be excited to talk about them with you guys next week as well.
Next Thursday.
Yeah,
you can catch us for that. And
Probably the following Friday we'll do the Superman.
yeah, because you're watching it late.
Sorry,
Like a normie.
I'm watching it on the Thursday.
I'll do my
Okay?
guest spots on our other shows, and then I'll do yours on
Nice.
Friday.
Nice. Go do it.
But with that, true believers,
Go watch Ironheart.
Go watch Ironheart. Go see Dennis at Now or Never Comics at 2 p.m. on Saturday in San Diego, downtown.
And go look up the Blood Brothers on the internet.
And until next week, enough said.